Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our DLC Global ITES committee. It gives me great pleasure to be addressing you all here today. I'm Mistry, Director at Della Leaders Club. We're glad to have the very best minds in ITES on our platform. And who better to talk a little more about this than our founder and CEO, Jimmy Mistry.
Good morning, good evening. A great and warm welcome to all of you. It's been an amazing journey. Last 14 months have been incredible. Getting to meet men and women of eminence like yourselves. What started off as a simple, humble creation has today taken shape with a global entity. More than 2,200 men and women of eminence supporting it as our honorary committee members. We started off to create an ecosystem that would support any entrepreneur, any professional, any young leader. What was really missing was a need to create a support system. And that support system today has become the world's first business platform. Without much ado, I would like to start this evening by inviting our chief guest and a dear friend, Nakul Aggarwal, amazing IITian, co-founder and CTO of Browserstack. Browserstack has over 250 plus people, services, more than 1.5 million developers from around 135 countries globally. Nakul, a very, very warm welcome from all of us at DLC.
Hi.
Thank you, Nakul. Welcome.
Glad to be here, Jimmy.
Thank you for all the support that you've given us throughout this endeavor of ours. Setting up the tech platform, every glitch, every problem I had, I could get back to this man and he was always there to support.
My pleasure, Jimmy. What you have made out of DLC is just unimaginable. I can't imagine probably something like this is possible. And in our first conversation when you mentioned about the DLC, I was like, no, this can't be done. But standing here today, I have a huge respect for you, buddy. Like it's a Herculean task, like you said, to pull this off, and you've done it. Talking a little about technology, I think it's a popular saying all of us heard, software is eating the businesses. And we have seen the technology, how it disrupting all the dimensions. Like we have seen it in manufacturing, we have seen it in healthcare, we have seen it in hospitality. Of course, our tech businesses are disrupting. So your vision to keep technology at the center of DLC to solve this problem in such a holistic way, I think is a great vision. And I'm a big fan because I'm a technologist at heart, and you having that passion to solve it in an automated way from every experience. You don't want me to work. You want the technology to work for me and make it my life so much easier. I think the core problem, just going back a little bit, you're trying to solve is, I resonated that with the most. And that is, I think in all of our journeys, entrepreneurs, I think we always are looking for that. I won't say help, maybe a stronger word. We know what needs to be done, but we sometimes want validation. Sometimes we don't want to share with someone to know, is it the right, what I'm doing? And you would just want a support system around ourselves where someone is just saying, Nakul, go ahead. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just do this. So that's a little bit about DLC, and I'm looking forward to contributing, of course, but of course being learning. Thanks, Jimmy, for having me here, and looking forward to amazing success.
My pleasure. Thank you, Nakul. You know, the whole purpose of DLC and the vision of DLC is to act as a catalyst to drive people from a life of success to a life of significance. One more favor, since you're here, would like to launch the official AV for our ITES committee. Thank you, Nakul. I appreciate all the support that you've been giving us and continue to do so.
Yes.
Thank you. I have the pleasure to introduce yet another amazing person, Bob Sharon, from our DLC Global Chapter Melbourne, founder and CIO Blue IoT, recipient of the IoT Pioneer, the FMA FM Industry for Excellence Award for Industry Innovation, globally recognized for developing Encompass Blue, which won the highly commended Award for Excellence in FM 2020. Bob, and a warm welcome from all of us across to you.
Thank you very much for that, Jimmy, and thank you for inviting me. Well, being the first global business platform that brings amazing people together to do stuff, excuse the vernacular, but when I say stuff, do real things. So together we can achieve more. There's a guy called Peter Senge. He wrote a book called The Fifth Discipline. He's a systems thinker. And what he says is the sum of the whole can be far greater than the sum of the parts. And so you can imagine when we put our heads together, when we work together, collaborate together, do business with one another, mentor one another, help each other, help the community, and do so much to achieve greater things than we ever thought of, than we ever imagined. Wow. And this excites me. This really excites me. This gets me going. There's so much that we can do for good, for one another, for community, and for the planet. So I'm very excited to be part of it. So thank you again, Jimmy.
Such a pleasure to speak with you. Bob, I have another request from you. We've created a LinkedIn handle, and specifically for our ITES committee. Thank you, Bob. Lovely speaking, and thank you for everything you've done so far. The honor of introducing our DLC New York chapter, Dr. Bhuvan Unhelkar, founder and consultant, Method Science, awarded the Computer World Object Developer in 1995, author of 25 books.
Thank you, and good morning from a small town, Sarasota, south of Tampa in Florida. I think, Jimmy, you deserve our compliments, and the way you have got all of us together. I think, if I may just reference one of the ancient Sanskrit chants on education, it says only a quarter of what we learn, we learn through going to a academic institution. Another 1/4 we learn on our own. Third quarter we learn by collaboration with friends and colleagues. And the fourth quarter happens as we grow through age. So I will not mention about the fourth quarter, but for the first 3 quarters of how we learn, how we gain knowledge, how we apply it, how we become knowing, is through an initiative that DLC is the best representative of. I am glad to be a part of it. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Professor. A pleasure to speak with you and be with you always. Let me introduce our next guest from the DLC Bangalore chapter, Mr. Vinay Deshpande, Chairman and Core Software Limited. Vinay, a warm welcome from all of us at DLC Studios and headquarters in Mumbai.
Good evening, Jimmy. I'm really happy to be on this platform, and I hope to be able to contribute in terms of collaborating with the thousands of luminaries that you have managed to gather, which itself is an unbelievable achievement. I wish to make my own humble contributions in whatever way I can, and it will be truly a pleasure to be able to help humanity in general. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vinay, and looking for your support in Bangalore chapter. Let me introduce our next guest, CJ Meadows. CJ Meadows is from our DLC Singapore chapter, chairman and co-founder of the Tiger Center, one of Asia's top 10 women in IT, leads a design thinking and innovation center at the Forbes Top 20 International Business School, author and speaker at CNBC, Channel News Asia, TEDx, Bloomberg, and many, many more. Unfortunately, Dr. Meadows could not join us at the launch, but we have a message from her.
DLC is a collection of incredible people. They're fabulous for connecting with, not only to come up with good ideas and initiatives to make an impact on the world, but if you have an idea, you're going to need people to collaborate in order to make a real difference and scale it up worldwide. So DLC, number 1 is about people. Number 2 is about values, creating the future and changing lives of success into lives of impact.
Thank you, CJ. I have the pleasure of inviting our Dubai chapter director, Mahtab Jamaji, of course.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to introduce our next guest from the DLC Dubai chapter, Mr. Khadeer Peer Shariff, CEO, Gibraltar Technologies, scientist with a patent in banking automation products. Welcome, Mr. Shay.
Thank you so much. Technology shapes society. 20 years back, there are about 740 million mobile connections. In 20 years now, there's about 8 billion connections, which is more than the population of the world. That's how technology has been growing. But what's more exciting and interesting is the eminent panels that you've all selected. I'm actually honored to be part of this panel, and I wish you all a great success.
Thank you, Khadeer. Looking forward to catching up with you in Dubai. I'd like to invite our New York chapter director, Shilpi Singh.
And now I would like to introduce our next honorary member, Rohan Malhotra from New York chapter, founder, Roadzen, and alumni of Carnegie Mellon University. Welcome, Rohan.
I think this platform that you're putting together is really a testament of the hard work, hustle, and incredible charisma to bring together some of the finest minds in the world. This committee can have an impact on is really shaping a large part of the world's economy. And the two technologies that I would really like to emphasize completely transform the world are AI and decentralization. I truly believe that this committee can have an impact on that if we are all action focused and allow each other to actually deliver on some of these outcomes. I think that has to be the goal and focus for all of us moving forward.
Thank you, Rohan. Your story needs to be told, and that is what is going to inspire many, many more and create many, many more Rohan Malhotras across the world. Thank you, Rohan.
So we have another guest here with us from Pune chapter, Mr. Biswajit Mohapatra, partner and executive director, IBM India, recognized as global top 50 thought leaders and influencers on cloud computing, received 10 plus CIO award for his contribution towards IT innovation. Welcome, Biswajit.
Thank you, Shilpi. Thanks, Jimmy, and good day, everyone. It's really very great evening for all of us. First, to meet together with this esteemed group. I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to come together, collaborate together, and ensure that we build that resilient business, we build that resilient society for all of us. So just to add on, sustainability products, sustainability materials, as well as sustainable future, more accelerated in a more safely environment is what all of us should drive together going forward from here. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Shilpi, for giving me this opportunity. And I'm excited about it.
Biswajit, we already have Cisco as our brand partner, PwC as our brand partner. You are helping us with IBM. We are really fortunate to have people like you within our ecosystem. And all the help and support is truly appreciated. Thank you, Biswajit. Thank you, Shilpi. I have our next guest to introduce, Mr. Piyush Chauhan. Piyush is from our DLC Dubai chapter, Chief Group Information Officer, Lulu Group, a digital evangelist with a passion for transforming businesses and working with startups. Piyush, a very warm welcome from all of us.
Thank you, Jimmy. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here with a lot of luminaries like Mr. Ganesh, Natarajan, and the likes of those. Thank you for having me here. Well, I think it's an era of collaboration. Yeah. So I think this is the platform that I see in which what you're doing, Jimmy, is really remarkable in terms of trying to bring in thought leadership, because the next 20 years, I would say, is pivoted around two things. One is disruption and second is digital. So digital disruption, while these two are used in conjunction, but they are two different concepts in itself. And I'm pretty sure you are trying to create synergy of thoughts, which will create disruption. And obviously with the ITES community here, we'll be able to create disruptions with the use of digital. So this is a very, very unique committee. I would say I'm kind of participating in other committees. And let me be honest here that this is going to be your most kind of differentiated community that you will have in the days to come.
Thank you, Piyush. Lovely, you spoke very well. Thank you. We have yet another very senior person within the ITES industry globally, Dr. Ganesh Natarajan, Executive Chairman and founder of 5F World, a platform for digital startups, skills and social ventures in the country, Distinguished Alumnus Award winner of IIT Mumbai, NITIE, member of Chairman's Council of NASSCOM and the National Council of All India Management Association.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. And I was really excited over the last 1 hour to look at the array of luminaries and great ideas that you're bringing together. And I totally resonate with something you said that, look, I mean, all of us try to live a life of legitimacy, acquire success. But once you've acquired that success, it's extremely important for us to give back. And my own mission has been to create 10 million people for this industry, which I managed to do with AppTech. And now, of course, my focus is almost entirely on nurturing entrepreneurs as well as building the social sector. And I'm truly delighted that I think in the DLC, we have those objectives. So I'm pretty sure that if nothing else, we would create at least 10,000 successful entrepreneurs. And I think I look forward to your leadership and the collaboration of the 2,200 members and more that you mentioned. It's an absolutely fantastic journey. All the best to all of you. And I'm always available in case anybody needs any information, support, financing, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate. I believe you're in New York right now. Your support matters to us, and it's amazing the kind of people who we have an access to are always willing and ready and willing to share their time and knowledge with us. Excites us and it makes us more resilient to go out and achieve. I have the pleasure of introducing our London chapter director, Ashni Kataria.
I would like to introduce our next guest from our global chapter, Madrid, Ms. Elise Quevedo, founder and CEO of SMGE Limited. She's ranked amongst the top 2% of most viewed profiles on LinkedIn, top 25 Global Hero Award winner 2020, member of Asia's CEO community, creator of social media Emotional Quotient, known as the Twitter Queen and the Digital Ghost Queen for behind-the-scenes work. Welcome, Ms. Elise.
Elise, good afternoon and a very warm welcome from all of us at DLC Studios.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, everybody. And thank you so much for having me today. It is an honor to be a part of the global DLC committees. And I remember reading your mission statement, which is to create a global community of transformative leaders who want to evolve from a life of success to a life of significance. And when I knew this, I just knew I had to be a part of it. And for me, especially as a woman, I want to inspire other girls and other women to speak up about their ideas, because it is a fact that as women, our voices don't always get heard. And many times we still have to fight harder, especially in the tech industry. So Jimmy, I do want to say thank you for having people like myself and all the other women at DLC, because this means a lot to us. It is about adding value with our skills, and it's about combining both forces, men and women, young or old, the older leadership with the new and what is yet to come, because together, as I always say, we are stronger. Technological advances are always incredible to watch, of course, when they make an impact on society and on humanity. It is amazing to see what else is possible, and that is why I'm excited to be here and be part of the Della leadership.
Thank you. Let me assure you, when you spoke about the woman power, our woman power at DLC is amazing. There are some mind-boggling, amazing women and super achievers within our fold of DLC. We've got women who are impact investors, who are game changers, and we have women who are exceptional entrepreneurs and leaders like yourself. Thank you for being with us and supporting us.
I would now like to introduce yet another guest from our global chapter, Tel Aviv, Mr. Samuel Shay, President, Gulf Technology Systems, Chairman of the Israel-UAE Business Forum, specializes in defining government needs in high-tech projects in the GCC region, with an emphasis on the projects that improve GNP.
Samuel, a very warm welcome from all of us.
First, Jimmy, I'd like to thank you for the warm welcome. And we see that all the members of the DLC have a common ground and understanding about the importance of joining forces. We heard very clearly from Mr. Bob and Alice and some other members about the importance of the collaboration between the people. We need to understand that the current world situation is not so excited. We see problem all over the world on the food problem, energy problem, education, healthcare, and it seems to be that somehow we have the technology, we have the businesses, we have the knowledge, but somehow governments and leaders do not follow the steps that need to be done. And the DLC is a great platform for this. You have scientists, you have political people, you have businessmen, businesswomen, industry. So eventually the amount of people that are available in the DLC have a lot of knowledge and a lot of things can be done. And it's really the point that at this time we must really collaborate between all of us and bring solution and see how we can do it. So I really appreciate for what you're doing, and I think it's very important.
Thank you. Look forward to continued support. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashni. I have yet another guest who's present in our studios today, and let me take the pleasure of introducing Mr. Swaroop Chaudhary, India's leading expert on finance and technology, a fintech person with 30 years of executive experience, 100 plus media appearances, 50 speaking engagements, including being key speaker at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Swaroop, a very warm welcome from all of us.
Thanks, Jimmy. It's a great honor to be
Welcome.
here at your studio.
My pleasure.
Well, I'm really honored to be with all these eminent people on the committee, the forum. I'm honored to be part of this, and really, I will look forward to participate in whichever manner and see how we can spread knowledge, because knowledge is everything. When I was in Thomson Reuters, it was to build content and give knowledge. I used to lead the Thomson Reuters Board Academy to put knowledge to the board directors and members.
So you'll be amazed to know that the DLC is being built on democratic principles. For us, knowledge is not somebody's jagir, it's meant to be spread. And hence, 50% of generic knowledge of all content generated on DLC platform is going to be put on YouTube for free. Completely free, there are no strings attached. Because we believe knowledge is meant to be shared. The more you share, the more you gain. At any point in time, when you deliver content to DLC and all our members deliver content, spending their valuable time, they can stay assured that this content is going to reach out to the poorest of poor across the world. DLC is merely a platform which is carrying this content out. Thank you, Swaroop, for being with us. I would like to introduce our next guest from the DLC Global Chapter, Israel, Mr. Daniel Bernard. Founder and chairman, Redwood International Sports, with over 20 years of experience in sports. He's a founder of Suntech Innovation, Ukraine. But over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Jimmy. Real pleasure. I'm honored, of course, but I'm also extremely excited. This is not just another committee where you feel it's a lot of lip service, people just talking. This is a place that I really feel that there's going to be a lot of action and good things happening, and not everywhere is like that. And I believe that if we are privileged enough to have lived a life of success, it is our absolute responsibility to now live a life of significance. Different is normal. And I believe that we've all discussed tonight how working together is a fantastic thing, but I think that being able to collaborate with such different people from diverse locations around the world and diverse backgrounds, this gives strength. We can provide access through technology to people who don't have those opportunities. We can bridge gaps that exist and are unfortunately getting wider in the world at the moment. And as I said, I'm just excited. So I'll stop rambling now. I'll give you the floor back.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Always a pleasure to speak with you. We have yet another guest present with us over here, whom I will have the pleasure to introduce. On stage, Mr. Anuj Gupta, CEO of Hitachi Systems Microclinic, previously held leadership positions with MIEL, eSecurity, Trident Infotech, played a significant role in his current company's growth during the past decade. His business acumen, a unique mix of knowledge of traditional and new age technology and people skills, have made him a leader of choice who is respected by team members, customers, and the industry. Anuj, a very warm welcome from all of us.
Before I introduce the next speaker, I want to say one thing to you. This is just wow. For you to pull something like this, to have a platform with all these dignitaries, all these super achievers, right, luminaries, at one place for a common cause, it takes a lot. Right, and we've seen, and we all have tried to get, all of us together, but it takes a lot, and I think DLC is doing a great job. Just go with this. It's just truly unbelievable.
Thank you.
Here I would like to introduce our next guest is from DLC Bangalore chapter, Mr. Deepak Vinci, co-founder and CEO of Julia Computing Incorporation. Julia is a high-level, high-performance programming language which has 17 million downloads and is growing exponentially, and is used in 10,000 plus companies and in 10,000 plus universities. Welcome, Deepak.
Thank you very much for inviting me to speak here. I joined DLC because I was really impressed with what you guys are doing, Jimmy. And from the perspective of the ITES committee, this can be a very good platform to come together and collaborate together and make a big difference. And with this platform where we can come together, the best of the best brains coming together across many cities of the world, I do believe that we can make a difference. And I'm happy to be here, actually, really excited to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Anuj, thank you. Deepak, thank you. I have the pleasure to introduce Pearl Mistry.
I would like to introduce our next guest from the DLC Global Chapter in Europe, Mr. Arijit Bhattacharyya, founder and CEO of Virtual Infocom, the advisory board member at World Women Awards and Conferences in the USA, global ambassador of the International Chamber of Media and Entertainment Industry, creator of one of India's first 3D games. Welcome, Arijit.
Arijit, a warm welcome from all of us.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. It's been a pleasure. I was listening to all the eminent speakers and guests. It's an amazing platform that has been created. Well, let's execute instead of talking only with each other. I'll be happy and pleasure to bring a couple of companies, few of bit of projects, so that we can probably execute things together and grow the entrepreneurial ecosystem together. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Arijit. I would take you up on that and introduce as many projects, as many companies, as many collaborations that we can work on and put everybody at DLC to use for doing so and achieving a larger purpose, which is a more significant purpose. Thank you. Over to you, Pearl.
I would like to introduce our next guest from the DLC Mumbai chapter, Mr. Sunil Dutt, President, Devices and S&D, Reliance Jio Infocom. A warm welcome, Mr. Dutt.
Thank you so much, Pearl, and thank you so much, Jimmy. And so good to see all the global leaders here and sharing their knowledge and sharing their perspectives. I think technology is here to stay with us, and it's here to be helping us in terms of sharing information, education, entertainment, impacting health, impacting wealth, impacting agriculture, manufacturing, as everybody was saying, the world of analytics, the world of analyzing consumers, consumer behaviors like we do. But really, I think as I look at it, technology as enabler for making people's lives better, which you mentioned some time back. So compliments and congratulations again, Jimmy, and always wonderful to be a part of DLC.
Thank you. Counting on your support and the knowledge that can be transferred across to the entrepreneurial world. You have a wealth of knowledge in mobility and mobile devices across. I'm sure lots and lots of entrepreneurs, professionals, and young leaders have a lot of learning lessons from you and case studies from you. Thank you, Sunil.
Look forward to contributing anything at any time.
Super. I have our committee POC, Ganesh. Over to you, Ganesh, to introduce our next guest.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, sir. I'd like to introduce our next guest from DLC Mumbai chapter, Mr. Raj Kapoor, founder and chairman, India Blockchain Alliance.
Raj, warm welcome from all of us.
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you. I've been listening to a lot of stuff. What I'll say, it's a wonderful community. I'm going to look at the future of how the community should go. I believe that any community can be a beautiful tokenized economy, and I've created 76 tokenized economies across the globe. I'd love to make DLC part of a tokenized economy as well. My wife and I both run this little NGO. We train the girl child in technology. We want more inclusiveness from women and girls in technology. We don't see that happening too much. We want it to happen. So right now, I've become richer again by 1,736 again, because that's the number of girls we are now incubating, training, teaching in various technologies. Jimmy and all the entire team, great job. And I'm sure this is just the Genesis block. It's the first block. The rest and the best is yet to come.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce now to Ms. Nabamita Mazumdar. She is National Chairman, Confederation of India MSME, President Awardee, won Top 100 Women Achievers Award by Ministry of Women and Child Development.
It's an honor to be a part and hear leaders across the world creating such a difference and a better world for tomorrow. I cannot thank enough for the entire hard work that has been put together to get all of us at the same platform. And I'm really looking forward to what changes that we bring in. Anything that I am capable of, I would be more than an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Nobita. Thank you, Ganesh. Have this young gentleman to introduce for our Mistry.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Would love to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Amit Paithankar. Dr. Amit Paithankar is the MD, Southeast Asia at Emerson's Electric. He's an alumni of London School of Business and Finance, and he holds a PhD in electrical engineering. Unfortunately, Dr. Amit could not be present here with us today, so he has sent across an AV which the team will just be beaming in.
I love technology, very, very passionate about it. I love what technology can do to people at large. What changes can it bring to the society? And we are at a very crucial juncture where I think technology can help this whole issue that we have created ourselves as humanity, which is climate change. So sustainability is a goal which can be managed by technology, and it's being thought and conceived by young and dynamic people like you. So you have makings of the success already in your DNA. My best wishes to DLC, to Jimmy, and let's hope this whole idea comes up, prospers, and and thanks for having us as a part of the journey.
Thank you. We have Rustam Jamaji from Singapore. It's wonderful to have many more young generation leaders across the world and people like you with us. Would you like to share anything that you have to say or ask about DLC?
I'm just basically listening today, and such an interesting talk, and listening to all your speakers. I'm just an observer at the moment.
Thank you.
Dr. Bhuvan Unhelkar has a question, and we'd be happy to answer it.
I just had a quick question. What kind of support DLC is receiving from the Indian government, or in fact from any other government bodies? Because I think what you're doing is going to impact not only businesses but also general population. And I'm just curious to know.
So, Professor, in all honesty, very popular Minister Nitin Gadkari was our chief guest at the launch of DLC, and our young Minister Aditya Thackeray. Whatever we've reached out to them, they've supported, but there is no direct correlation and support that's happening. I'm quite excited to bring the Niti Aayog chief on board within the DLC ecosystem. Perhaps a recommendation from you would go a long way in convincing him. But DIFC Dubai has given us a warm welcome, and the CEO of DIFC Dubai has very graciously supported us in establishing DLC in Dubai. Also, we have been speaking to HK Invest in Hong Kong, and HK Invest has shown active role. The London Mayor's Office, which is responsible for the collaborations and coordinations across within the UK, London Mayor's Office CEO is on board, and he's given us support across. But this is only the beginning, like you said, and I fully agree with you. I'm aware of the fact that governments of the world can benefit tremendously from an organization like DLC, which is so open-minded, which is for profit, but the profit only comes from member subscription. Everything else on the DLC platform is non-monetized, not for profit, no advertising, no marketing, no taking commissions, kickbacks, and so on and so forth. And the content is going to be global. It's going to help as many people. Also, the social impact causes are going to affect not only the third world countries, but the first world countries as well. So thank you all. Thank you, Professor. And good evening, good night from all of us at DLC.